Hey there, what is going on? It's your girl, Miss Straight Talk. No sugar added, none added at all. And we are back at it, continuing the 16 video series, Who's Your Baggage? Releasing the Dead Weight. Hope that you have been enjoying them thus far and that you have been sharing, and subscribing, and liking. So today we're going to talk about guilt. Let's talk about guilt. At some point, we've all experienced some form of guilt, whether it's guilt of not making a decision on something in our lives, or something we may have done to someone or said to someone, or just an experience. There's always some kind of guilt. And so guilt is having committed an offense, whether against someone else or yourself. So I want to talk about this one here because there are times that we allow some form of guilt to keep us from moving forward. It keeps us from picking up the phone and apologizing. It keeps us from picking up the phone or saying, I forgive you. It keeps us from just advancing to our next level because there's such a weight of guilt. And it could be emotional, it could be mentally, it could be, something physically, because as I talked about in stress, when we have stress in our body, it impacts our health. And so whatever it is, whatever you're feeling guilty about, if there's a conversation that has to be had, then go ahead and have the conversation. If you feel better writing a letter, sending a card, do something. Find a way, whether you're on either end of the spectrum. Whether you're the person who did something to someone or someone did something to you, have a conversation. It's always good. I'm such a communicator. I believe that it's so important to let people know how you feel and how they made you feel. We have no problem telling when people have made us feel great. But it seems like when it comes to us letting people know in a healthy way, how they made us feel and something that we didn't like, we don't do it. We feel like there always has to be some kind of anger or aggression behind it. And I believe that we should be able to have conversations that just say, hey, you know what? I want to talk to you about something that happened or something that you said, and this is how it made me feel. And so with this situation, I try to avoid telling someone, saying, you did this to me. You did this to me. If you switch that up and you just say, my experience with what you said to me was, my experience with what you said to me made me feel this way. Because sometimes people say and do things, and the way that we receive or perceive them it really wasn't their intention. It's just the way that we took it. And so a lot of times we get offended because we had an expectation that something would happen a certain way. But that could be a whole nother video because I can go down a rabbit hole on that one. And so there's guilt. I know a lot of parents. I want to talk about that briefly. Parents have parental guilt. They feel, bad for, not giving their kids the life they felt that they should have given them, or they didn't they did not get to experience things that maybe other kids may have experienced because of, for whatever reason, maybe they traveled, they had to work a lot, they didn't have the money. As I stated in a previous video, I believe it was Blaine, we just have to accept that was the past. That was what the experience was at that time. That's what you were able to do or not do. And now let's talk about where we are right now. Some parents feel like they weren't an effective parent. Hey, as parents, we can only do what we know to do. And if you are not a parent and you're a child, not a child, but you know what I'm trying to say, give your parents some grace. Give your grandparents some grace. Give the people who raised you and did the best they could some grace, because people can only do what they know to do. And if some folks don't have a great experience or they don't have great examples, they are only doing based off of what they know. So give them some grace. Like, let it go. Stop holding on to that stuff that's keeping you from moving. And then we have that interpersonal guilt where, excuse me, where we have regret or remorse that comes from causing another person some pain or something. So, if you say something, I know for me, I always have these transparent moments. I'm one that's very vocal. I'll say what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling and let you know. And I've had to learn to lace that a little bit more with some grace and compassion, because I would just kind of come out the frame on some stuff and not really care about how someone felt. But there have been times where I've said or done something and I felt really bad. I felt like this guilt about, man, how did that make them feel, or did that cause them to do such and such because of something I said or something I did. Now, granted, we can't take complete responsibility for decisions or behaviors of other people because they make those decisions themselves. But however, I don't want to be a contributing factor of, a bad decision that someone makes or something that they do. So if you have some form of guilt about something you've done or said to someone, excuse me, then find a way to make it right. Find a way to make it right, because it's just not necessary to hold on to this stuff. And so, a lot of times we have guilt for, a past event or a choice that has happened. So how do we overcome that? Again, like with many of these bricks that I'm talking about, it becomes with self-awareness. It comes to the point where you ask yourself the question, how is this serving me? How is this feeling, this emotional, this aggravation, this frustration, or this hatred that I feel, how is this serving me? And if it's not serving you, then find a way to get rid of it. Find those things or do those things that will serve you in a greater way. And as I always say in all of these videos, I am not a therapist. So if you do need help navigating through these things and you're having difficulty, then I suggest that you do get some therapy, or, reach out to your spiritual advisor or your close family and friends to have a conversation with. But journaling is so good in situations like this, because then you can sit down and write down, what you're feeling guilty about, or what you're holding against someone else because of something they did. The key here is, all I'm trying to get you to do is get a glimmer of a perspective that says, hey, I don't like this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to feel this way anymore. I want to advance. I don't want anyone to go another day, into another month, into another year holding on to this baggage that is keeping them from moving forward. So the journey is yours. The path is yours. All I can do is just give you like a little flicker that says, hey, you know what? That is a good idea. Let me let this go. This is not serving me. I want to live my best life and do the things that I'm called to do, because now you can free up energy. All these conversations are really about freeing up that negative energy that is holding you back from moving into a positive force that's going to take you on the path of where you want to go and what you want to do. So do that journaling, have a conversation with yourself, and have self-awareness, and be honest with yourself. We don't ever want to say that we're doing something wrong, or we've done something wrong, or I'm not like this. No, you probably are. So just deal with it, accept that, and then move on. Does that make sense? Move on. So hopefully you have gotten some kind of a nugget from this from this video and the other ones. Please do comment, because I want to hear what you have to say. Maybe others may need to hear what you say, because it may not be something I say. It may be something you put in the comments that can help transform and move someone forward. You can find me on social media at Miss Straight Talk No Sugar Added, or Miss Straight Talk. My website is bestraigup.com. And please like, share, and subscribe. I am desiring to grow my channel. I have so many other things that are coming forward, and I don't want you to miss what I have to say. Okay? All right. So you take care and have a marvelous, marvelous rest of your day. Kill that guilt. Kill it, kill it, kill it.